Paramashivam.
Yes, Joyce. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, everybody mute your mic. If you had gone a few minutes before, you would know so much of stuff and chaos. Oh, it's so quiet. Okay, it's 6:30 here. We'll sit straight, close our eyes, visualize Swamiji in our third eye. Start with the Guru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhatam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasrosham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sachibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, everybody. Welcome to Kailash Courtyard Manifesting Power Session, third week. So beautiful that everybody is holding such an intense space, and I see so many of them coming regularly. That's wonderful. That's really, I've seen whoever is coming much regularly, so much of breakthroughs are happening. And today has been a great day. In every session, we had a power manifestation breakthrough. That's why I'm so glad today. Everybody, whoever said this is an issue, that is an issue, everything disappeared, and we've been having at least tools in every session. That's so wonderful today. I think today Sadashiva is with us in the session. That's what I understand. So we've been looking into the depth, right? The depth of the cognition. How Paramashiva has told that I am Paramashiva and all that around me is a Paramashiva, and everything, there is no boundary. I am infinite. Nothing can be added to me. Nothing can be taken away. I am the ultimate. I have the cognition that I am wholly holding the thought I am Paramashiva. The actions around me happens as I hold the thought very, very clearly inside me. The deep down cognition is nothing but Swamiji. Other than Swamiji, I do not have anything. And absolutely empty. Like Swamiji beautifully describes, like the bubbles in the fish tank is like our patterns, which keeps on coming up and creating all the troubles and all the doubts and all the incompletion. But if we go to the fish tank or any tank, we know that bubbles are created from a source. And the source itself, the water itself, is not having any other pattern. The water itself is not creating the bubbles. The bubbles are created out of the pattern. When we just don't ignore the bubbles and go to the source of it and drop the cognition, the cherished thought just drops from us. The self-doubt drops from us. Doing this power manifestation again and again, grounding into that I am Paramashiva. There is nothing which exists other than me, the Paramashiva. We are going to see a clipping. I put it for the kids. Now I'm going to put it for the adults. The whole thing, including our body, how we perceive is nothing but inside us. There is nothing outside us. Again and again, we want to be very clear that there is nothing outside us. All that we have is our space, Paramashiva, manifesting continuously in the conscious space. If we have a conscious space as big as a football stadium, then we are going to have that much of energy, that much of happening. If we have a cup of consciousness space that we enter just during the program and forget about it, then we will be living out of only that much conscious space. So it is us to decide, drop all this minor victimhood and then truth and all that to raise to the next level Go deep, dive inside the deepest part of you. Dive inside and see how truthful we are to the space I am Paramashiva. If you live in the cognition of I am Paramashiva in your depth, everything that you see is Paramashiva manifesting around you. Everything is changing as you change the cognition inside you. He is manifesting whatever and much more, making us complete and more than complete what is happening around us. So we're going to see a small clipping. After that, we'll do an exercise of writing down to completion, and then we'll go to the sutra. Yes, ma'am. Can we play the clipping?
No. This is speaker view. This is gallery view.
Yeah. Can you mute your mic so that we can play the clipping, and then we'll discuss more into that. The whole space of consciousness, how we hold ourselves, how we are much more than just the matter. That's so beautifully visually presented in this small clipping. It's about 10 minutes. So you can see this and understand visually how we perceive ourselves.
Man is conditioned right from the beginning of his life that the world he lives in has an absolute material reality. So he grows up under the effect of this conditioning and builds his entire life on this viewpoint. The findings of modern science, however, have revealed a completely different and significant reality than what is presumed. The information that we have about the external world is conveyed to us by our five senses. The world we know of consists of what our eyes see, our ears hear, our noses smell, our tongues taste, and our hands feel. Man is dependent on only those five senses since birth. That is why he knows the external world only the way it is presented by these senses. Yet, scientific research carried out on our senses has revealed very different facts about what we call external world. And these facts have brought to light a very important secret about matter, which makes up the external world. Contemporary thinker Frederick Vester explains the point that science has reached on this subject. Statements of some scientists posing that man is an image, everything experienced is temporary and deceptive, and this universe is a shadow, seems to be proven by science in our day. In order to better grasp this secret behind matter, let us be reminded of our information about our sense of sight, which provides us with the most extensive information about the external world. The act of seeing is realized progressively. At the instance of seeing, light clusters called photons travel from the object to the eye and pass through the eye lens, where they are refracted and focus on the retina at the back of the eye. Here, rays are turned into electrical signals and then transmitted by neurons to the center of vision at the back of the brain. The act of seeing actually takes place in this center in the brain. the images we view in our lives and all the events we experience are actually experienced in this tiny and dark place. Both the film you are now watching and the boundless landscape you see when you gaze at the horizon actually fit into this place of a few cubic centimeters. Now, let us reconsider this information more carefully. When we say we see, we actually see the effect the rays reaching our eyes form in our brain by being converted into electric signals. When we say we see, we actually observe the electrical signals in our brain. By the way, there is another point that has to be kept in mind. The brain is sealed to light, and its interior is absolutely dark. Therefore, it is never possible for the brain to contact with light itself. We can explain this interesting situation with an example. Let us suppose that in front of us there is a burning candle, and we view its light. During this period, when we view the candle's light, the inside of our skull and our brain are in absolute darkness. The light of the candle never illuminates our brain and our center of vision. However, we watch a colorful and bright world inside our dark brain. The same situation applies to all our other senses. Sound, touch, taste, and smell are all perceived in the brain as electrical signals. Therefore, our brains, throughout our lives, do not confront the original of the matter existing outside us, but rather an electrical copy of it formed inside our brain. It is at this point that we are misled by assuming these copies are instances of real matter outside us. These physical facts make us come to an indisputable conclusion. Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain. For instance, we see a bird in the external world. In reality, this bird is not in the external world, but in our brain. The light particles reflecting from the bird reach our eye, and there they are converted into electrical signals. These signals are transmitted by neurons to the center of vision in the brain. The bird we see is, in fact, the electric signals in our brain. If the sight nerves traveling to the brain were disconnected, the image of the bird would suddenly disappear. In the same manner, the bird sounds we hear are also in our brain. If the nerve traveling from the ear to the brain was disconnected, there would be no sound left. Put simply, the bird, the shape of which we see, and the sound of which we hear, is nothing but the brain's interpretation of electrical signals. Another point to be considered here is the sense of distance. For example, the distance between you and this screen is nothing but a feeling of space formed in your brain. Also, objects that seem to be very distant in one person's view are actually images clustered at one spot in the brain. For instance, someone who watches the stars in the sky assumes that they are millions of light years away from him. Yet the stars are right inside himself and the center of vision of his brain. While you watch this film, you are in truth not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. On the contrary, the room is inside you. Your seeing your body makes you think that you are inside of it. However, you must remember that your body, too, is an image formed inside your brain. So far, we have been speaking repeatedly of an external world and a world of perceptions formed in our brain, the latter of which is what we see.
Thank you, Majaj. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. You can see that how it's completely the whole cognition shift that happens in us, where we understand that I am Paramashiva, everything that exists is Paramashiva, is completely true. Science is catching up with the whole thing. Now we have to catch up with the whole thing and whole idea that no, that we are Paramashiva, the whole space that we are occupying, the whole dimension that we live is from the space I am Paramashiva. If we understand this cognition, we'll understand the sutra much more deeper and much more clearer. The depth of who we are is the sutra where we understand that the whole science is from the whole power manifestation science is from the core cognition, how I'm holding, what I'm holding, what is happening in my life. My life, I'm living like a monkey thinking this is the world, right? That's all I have perceived. But seeing this video, there's a complete different dimensions of what Swamiji is talking about. Completely the depth of us, where I say I'm infinite. We say in words, but it has not become the reality. But today we are going to do a small completion of any doubt, any labeling, any opinion, anything that you have, dropping and completing with all the judgment words. That Swamiji so beautifully says, I never judge anybody. How come you judge? He is looking at things as they are. No opinion, no judgment, no the evaluation of things before understanding what it is. We have a big perception problem because we label everybody. Then we label everything. Oh, this is difficult. This is cannot be. This I cannot do. Oh, this person is like that. This is how they behave. Who told? Nobody told. You're all Paramashiva. That's all is the labeling you have to put. Other than that label, we don't have any other label that we need to put. So today we are just going to complete with all the doubts. So you will not label that you're holding in the hand, you're holding in the silicon, you're holding in the ground. All are one and the same, whether it is your hand, whether it is in your tab, whether it is in your ground, everything is just the same. So we're going to read this, we're going to play the sutra, and we're going to understand the translation. Then we'll do the sharing. Yes, ma'am, we can play the sutra.
Mana for the power in depth dimension is taken from the Shiva Sutras, verse 1.16. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi.
So this whole power manifestation, it says, manifest Sadashiva's infinite power from your depth. That's why I wanted to play this whole thing, that the whole universe is nothing but you. The whole space is nothing but you. I am Paramashiva and everything is Paramashiva. Just from that cognition and feeling the oneness with Swamiji, that is where we start manifesting our reality. Only holding the thought current of this is all we need to do. There is no other thing that we need to do. Holding the thought current that I am Paramashiva, manifesting the reality of whatever Paramashiva shows us. So here in the translation, Swamiji gives us, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being that all exist is Sadashiva, the pure essence, Suddha Tattva, and attaining the unity with the pure essence, that existential reality. Sadashiva, he experienced Sadashiva and manifests Sadashiva's infinite form. Swamiji Beautiful says, what is Suddha Tattva? Tattva means unit, that which does not get corrupted by anything. And Shuddha Tattva means the pure essence. The pure essence is the essence of Swamiji himself, the absolute consciousness. Here Sadashiva is revealing the sacred science to live in the state of Sadashiva, manifest Sadashiva's infinite power. He is giving us a powerful cognition to manifest the depth dimension of cosmos. How he taught us to live the cosmic body, now he's teaching us how to live the cosmic cognition. Understand, each thing he's teaching us in a different dimension. Start diving into these things and looking more deeper than your incompletion. There is so much to go through these beautiful states that we can understand much deeper than our little incompletion which we are struggling with. Fix yourself by aiming, connecting to and uniting yourself with Suddha Tattva. Cognize from the depth of your being, from the innermost idea you carry about you, that all that exists is Sadashiva. The pure essence. Cognize everything, see, feel, know, everything is you. The whole essence that Swamiji has created in this sutra for us is the oneness that we need to go deeper. Only by the oneness we go deeper, we understand the whole space of Paramashiva. By creating the powerful cognition, the yogi will experience the oneness with Sadashiva, and he goes into the deeper science, teaching us what is Pashu, Pati, and Pasha. Pashu is the Jivatma. He says very clearly, if we live from the lower chakras, we'll be only running a life in a manual, rules, regulations, anger, upset, frustration, only those kind of cognition. When we live out of higher chakras that we have, then we will be living out of the beautiful space of oneness of Swamiji. The Pashu will be meant animal only if we live from the immature souls. If we take the journey of higher cognition, that I want to live, I am Paramashiva, then all this will not matter, because we'll be in such a love with a completeness with Swamiji. In that space only we can manifest all these powers into next level of consciousness. Apashu is the space beyond individual soul, or the root identity, which is liberated from the patent of identifying and cognizing itself as a separate from Sadashiva. So Apashu is actually becoming the Pati. How Pashu becomes the Jiva becomes the Sadashiva, same way the Apashu is actually becoming the Pati. Pati is Sadashiva, who is the original source. We keep identify ourselves because we are living out of the poor cognitions. When we declare and raise from with the will persistent that I am not going to live with all these nonsense, I am going to raise myself, then we will raise ourselves to the Lord of whole universe, Lord of Pashu. Here Sadashiva says, Apashu Shakti, the oneness with Sadashiva manifests his Shakti. The yogi will manifest power of depth dimension. He will be able to see, feel, cognize everything as Sadashiva. Thus the root cognition, his depth is transformed to cosmic cognition. He can connect, move, play with anything in the cosmos. What a powerful cognition that Swamiji has given in the Shiva Sutra. It is ultimate space that Swamiji has given and shown us. With this space, let's have the sharing and go into the power manifestation. If anybody has a question or with the whole thing, before the question answer, I would like you to write it down, because if you don't write it, you will forget it. So I want you to take 5 minutes, write it down, all the labeling, all the opinion, all the what you have on judgment on people, opinion on people, labeling on people or situations, either situation or people or anything that you think is right, wrong and all that. Please write down and let's complete with that. We know only one cognition. We know I am Paramashiva. We know very clearly we manifest everybody as Paramashiva. I am going to only label everybody as Paramashiva. Every situation as Paramashiva. Oneness with Swamiji will flow into everything in my life because everything is Paramashiva. So let's come to that powerful cognition, and from that cognition, let's have the question answer session. Yes, ma'am. We can play the Mahavakya for 5 minutes and write these things before we move on.
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma Joyce.
Paramashivoham.
Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead. You can unmute and you can share, or you want to ask a question about what you saw, whatever. Just go ahead. Please unmute your mic and then speak up.
Yes, I have a question. My question
Yes,
is
ma'am.
about how our brain from a very young age, we're actually programmed to evaluate, to analyze, to judge, like throughout school, throughout our lives. And now, as the clip showed, like we live in a world of perception, which isn't actual reality. So I guess my question is, and when we look at the matrix and we look at the masses and the majority of the population right now, you know, most of us are living in the lower chakras, and most of us are living from a place of evaluation and judgment. So I guess my question is, how to move out of that. Like, I'm aware of the unclutching and completion and power manifestation, and I can say that that's had a very positive impact on me, and that's a way to move out of this evaluation. So my question is that it, or am I missing a piece?
Yes, ma, you got it right on the nail. The beautiful space that power manifestation happens only because Swamiji, you're connected to Swamiji, and Swamiji manifests so beautifully through you. We all came down to celebrate Swamiji. The whole cosmos is a celebration. And we fail to understand that because when we were young, we were not taught all these things. In the real world, Swamiji said a beautiful story, how Narada taught Prahlada when he was in the womb. So when he came out itself, he knew what was his life, how he perceived his life, and what is the whole thing. So he never got disturbed by any incompletion. Even as a 5-year-old boy, he was in such high cognition and awareness. So under the whole thing that we can become the celebration, that freedom, that beautiful space we were been earning for. and we are missing that whole component by living in the mind and body for ages and ages because nobody guided us. Probably that is how the evolution happens. But now that Swamiji is here on planet Earth and he is there to guide us step by step into this power manifestation and powerful cognition. See, the whole thing is not just the power manifestation of moving something, but manifesting our life itself as a most beautiful and most blissful space that we just become more and more tasting the whole sweetness in us. The more and more we get closer to it, the more and more we only see the sweetness and the bliss. There is nothing else which we were searching outside. He says a beautiful story, right? We go and search for the coin outside, but actually it exists somewhere else. Just because there is light, if we search a coin, we are not going to get the result. It is where we need to search, what we need to search. Now that Swamiji is guiding that through powerful cognition and power manifestation. Power manifestation grounds our belief and raises our confidence. Powerful cognition makes us understand that whole, the complete picture of everything. If we understand through powerful cognition and manifest these powers, it will be permanent, that we will go beyond the time and live in a space with Paramashiva forever. There is no death for us. That's why he says sons of immortality, because we will go beyond the life, the timeline. We'll be in the space of oneness with Swamiji. That's it. So that is the most beautiful space that he's asking us to get into, the conscious beings, the superconscious beings, the new species. We have lived enough as a monkey, as a man. Now let's start declaring what he is giving us, where he is taking us to such an amazing space. So that is what this whole Kailash Courtyard Manifesting Powers is all about. And thank you for beautiful sharing. Please make a note of this sharing, Ma, and keep causing. See, only if you tell the world how that manifesting powers has shifted your cognition. If we just tell that I benefited from this program, nobody will listen to us. Now people have lost their consciousness to a very low level. Now we raise ourselves and help other 10 people to raise to the same thing from the cognition that we have decided to break through, right? That is the greatest help for us to get grounded in what we now understood. Otherwise, again, we will go back, slide back. One okay is enough. We'll slide back into the mind. As long as the mind is there, any time we can slip into the mind. As long as we keep on grounding ourselves into the powerful cognition and go on causing what we have got as a breakthrough and celebrating us, celebrating even the smallest thing. Hey, I rolled a coconut. I rolled a coconut out of this. I rolled an object. I don't know how it can roll. It rolled. And you just becoming one with the celebration, you will start seeing so many things happening. This is the right path. This is the only path for us now human beings to raise into the next conscious space. Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome.
Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam.
Please, anybody else has sharing, please go ahead. Today has been a great day of breakthroughs. I want to roll the coconut on the ground and have a breakthrough for this session also. Holding a big space for this session. Yes, go ahead, please. Unmute your mic and start speaking.
Yeah, Ma. Hello, Ma.
Yes,
Hello.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
I'm Babu. Okay. How can I control my emotions like my anger? So unwanted anger and unknowingly I'm getting angry and some negative thoughts.
Yes, Ayad. So this is what Swamiji says, the foundation is required. If I just try to fight with myself, it doesn't happen, right? So what he gives is, he gives so many tools for me so that I know how to handle myself first. If you tell a tantrum throwing child to know big philosophy, will it understand? Or big breakthrough, it will understand? It will not understand. First, we have to make the tantrum throwing child into a normal child. And only in normal child, I can dig deep into the next level of completion. So what is a tantrum throwing child? Our hormones, our toxin in the body that for ages we have accumulated. We are so generous in creating all these things into our body. How we wash our hand, we have to make sure we do nirahara to clean our intestine and gut completely again and again and again. So that this toxin goes out, you will, even if you get irritated, you will not shout. Swami says very clearly, you'll be so cool about the whole thing. Because one, you know the powerful cognition. Second, your body is ready to cooperate. In Swamiji's theory, there is no such thing as mind. Either it is deal with the body or deal with the consciousness. There is nothing in the middle. So if you first deal with the body, put that into rigorous yoga and align it, and then do the detox, all the detox program. Go and get the guts cleaned up at least 3 times a day and feel the real bliss in your stomach, inside your intestine. Then you try to get angry, you will not get angry. And with powerful cognition that you want to live Paramashiva, you will not get angry because you know you're celebrating Swamiji. So that space, surely there will be no anger, no emotions, and all these ideas that we carry. Most of it is physical, Swami says. That is a good news for us. If we get rid of physical, it is easy for us because we cannot otherwise handle it. So physically, all that we clean up and take care, then cognitively declare yourself into manifesting powers and being with this session continuously. So we all together create the Vatavarna. We create the space and hold it here. And Swamiji infuses energy into the space for us to get pushed into the next conscious space. Okay, yeah, got it?
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iya. Yes, anybody else? I want to share something. Please go ahead.
I want to share something. Like I was having a bad headache all the night and morning. And then I was like really trying to use the healing and it was not working. And I said, what I'm going to do? Then I kind of hear Swamiji telling me, join the 10:30 session. And I said, no, I have it's so bad, my headache. And then I said, okay, but it was nobody to translate there. Nobody who was listening the translation. I said, okay, I'm going to, because I hear that, like Swami say, translate. He said, but it's nobody. Then I said, okay, I'm going to translate to myself. As you say, it was speaking to my listening. And when you say chant very loud the Mahavakya, I start chanting the Mahavakya with the big headache. But when the session finished, it was a little like some minutes and the headache went away. Then I really wanted to share that because I suffer from these headaches like a kind of migraine that they don't go away for many, many hours. And I was so happy that I listened to that little voice, like Swami is saying, join the session and translate. And in fact, I wanted to share whoever speaks 2 languages is a big blessing to translate because like you say, Ma Advaita, we are not talking to the other people, we are talking to ourselves. We are listening. And I wanted to share that session. See, but thank you because it's a cure for people who suffer from migraines and big headaches. This is a testimony that
do translation. New theory for migraine. Do translation. So beautiful. Ma, please share and thanks Swamiji. Actually, I have got through that so many times. Yes, so many times when we are in confusion, I do a session and then I get clarity in what I need to do. Because the whole thing shifts so much. When we speak, we start listening for a change. Otherwise, we doesn't listen to anyone. Unfortunately, we are so caught up. So do a lot more translation. That's why cause so many people with what you believe as core you. That will get bolted. Swami says again and again, only the causing becomes our cognition. Only the commitment changes our cognition. Why he says that is not he's going to get anything out of it. We have to do this as a spiritual practice every day. Go catch people and tell them how you celebrate. That's all. You don't tell them to do anything. Just tell them how you celebrate. continuously what all you want to celebrate, go tell everybody. And then they will think, what is wrong with you? Then after some time, they'll think, oh my God, you're always like this. Then I also want to be always like this. So beautiful, Ma. Okay, anybody else want to go, or we'll start power manifestation? Yes, thank you so much. Okay, let's go for power manifestation, and we have enough time. We'll have the last few minutes for the breakthroughs that we see in this session. Okay? Okay, again, I tell you, do not hold any cognition that hand or tab or ground is different. All are one and the same. Everything is Paramashiva. Whoever is able to just drop that are able to manifest huge powers, rolling everything around. So today we have seen in 2 sessions, adults, I'm talking about kids, forget, they will do anyway. But adults who are just able to do that is, they are just having the cognition and Paramashiva, everything is Paramashiva. So whatever is rolling, not rolling, everything is Paramashiva from that space. And the powerful cognition that we have today from the sutra, merging one with the whole space and digging deep inside us and forming the space, I am Paramashiva in the deep core of you, right? The cosmic cognition that we are going to hold. So let's chant the Mahavakya loudly and visualize Swamiji in the third eye and roll the coconut. You can have each other help you in the group itself, and you don't have to tell each other where you're holding. So let them roll it everywhere, and then finally you tell where they rolled from. That also works. You just show the top part of it, and they'll see the coconut and thinking they are rolling from your hand. Actually, it will be on the tab. So we'll start the rolling. Yes, Ma. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes, Ma Joyce, thank you so much. Yes. So who wants to go sharing on rolling the coconut? Say. Please unmute and share. It's so beautiful. In kids, we saw, like, literally we told the kids to make a post. They're keeping it and rolling left, right on it. Everything is moving up and down. Yes, Ma. Go ahead. Anybody wants to share before we end?
I was only this time able to roll the coconut from Anthony's hand, but I just want to share. I had my daughter was here the other day, and she had a couple of friends come over, and she says to them, do you want to see me roll a coconut? And they went, yeah, okay. And so she goes, all right, hold your hand out and hold it. And so she goes, and make sure it's flat so it doesn't, your hand's flat so the coconut can just sit nicely. And she rolled the coconut, Ma, in front of her friends, and then she says to them, would you like a turn? Do you think you could roll the coconut? And they went, no. She goes, yeah, you can. Have a go, have a try. And Ma, they both rolled the coconut off their hand.
Wow.
I believe it was her, she held the space, that there was no obstacles. And then they told me to have a turn to roll the coconut off their hand. And so when I rolled the coconut from off their hand, one of the girls says to me, I can feel it, you've got it. I can feel the liquid moving. It was really, really awesome. And they'd never seen this before. So, yeah, it was beautiful.
Super, Ma. Make
Yeah.
a video, Ma. Make a video and please share to the world how beautiful all these are. These, do not take them as simple things. That's what I was telling the kids. There is a person by the name, enlightened person, Swamiji says. His name is Amma and he lives in Vellore. And he rolls the coconut. Just by rolling the coconut, he has built a golden temple. You can Google and search and see. Just by rolling a coconut. Don't think these powers are just like that. It's so simple. I can roll it. What's the big deal? And all that. Even that is a labeling and opinion. He just rolled a coconut, and the space that he is in, the depth of what he believes, and he has created a golden temple. So understand the effect of what you're doing. It's not a small power. Any power with Sadashiva is the greatest power. First, we need to understand that. And then we need to understand rolling the coconut out of the ground.
Yeah, what I noticed, it was Henemaya's, how Henemaya just had no doubt, no nothing. She just knew she was going to roll the coconut and told the other girls that they could roll the coconut. It was beautiful. Yeah, a space where I want to be. Thank you, Ma.
Yes, sorry, I just got dropped. I was just saying, please go ahead and make a video and share it with the whole world. Yes, can you hear me? Okay, great. Anybody else have any sharing or any questions? Please unmute your mic and quickly share.
Yes, Ma, I have something I'd like to share. It's Martha.
Yes, please.
Yes, hello. So I had a very interesting experience happen. I'm living in an apartment and there are tenants below me. And I'm always having a little fear not to make too much noise, and because then, you know, we want them to be happy below. Anyway, my son came home. I was sitting in the kitchen and he washed a cup out and left the water running in the cup. And I didn't hear it. I just kept working on my computer. And then he came back about 10 minutes later and he screamed. The whole kitchen was full of water. It was a lake. And I went, ah! And we quickly tried to mop everything up. And then my biggest fear, I saw my landlord's name pop up on my iPhone. So I thought, oh no. So I answered the phone and she said, is there any water leaking upstairs? And I said right away, I said the truth, what happened? I don't know, it just happened like this. And she said, I'll call you back. And then she called back and she said that the tenant said there was water in their apartment coming from the ceiling through the lights into the pantry, into the hallway, and they were sending her photographs. So I was very concerned. And I was talking to Ma Kaladevi. She said, okay, ask Swamiji, be in the space, manifest that there will be no damage. There will be nothing wrong. Everybody will be happy. And I did exactly that. I just visualized that everything was dry, everything was good. There was no sheetrock falling down. Meanwhile, when I went to the basement, there was water in the basement. So the water had gone through from my apartment to theirs and into the basement. So I know the water was in their apartment all over. Turns out I'm waiting the next day for a phone call, nothing. I wake up in the morning, there's a very large tree that fell in front of their doorway. And I thought it was a sign. I don't know, I just felt like Kalabhadava made a sign there that the tree was over. And then today I got a call, and I answered the call, and she said, I'm just calling to let you know that there was no damage in their apartment. I thought I would have to replace the sheetrock. She said, but there's nothing wrong. They just maybe have lost a little bit of food in their pantry. And I said, I'd be happy to pay for that, but I haven't heard anything yet. So, and she said the basement when she went down there was completely dry. But I went down there and it wasn't. Yes, that's a manifesting. It's like,
Yes.
it's just amazing. And the healing I got from that, you know, I received the healing from that because all along since I've moved here, I've had a lot of fear around my little dog making noise and my children coming and going, and my fear of survival, my fear of, am I going to have a place to live? Is somebody going to put me out? I had a lot of those fears, and when she called, I didn't have that fear. So I was really able to speak from my heart and say that, you know, I'm very considerate of the people below, and I feel, you know, I do everything that I can to live peacefully with them and changing my cognition about them as, you know, people that exist outside me that could cause me any harm, that somebody could harm me is a big completion, because I think I've had a whole life of thinking they're out to get me, or somebody's out to get me, or they're, you know what I mean? That idea that somebody's out there that's going to get me is not happening. It's not going to happen because there is no one there.
Superb.
There. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Superb, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. See how practical life also gets solved. These teeny tiny things that, no, we roll coconut and all that, but how life itself happens for us when we hold the powerful cognitions. When life itself says so many situations where we would have got completely into chaos to beautiful happening, and we are enjoying Swamiji's Leela around us as a literally magic happening around us in the life. That is why again and again Swamiji says, live the conscious space and see what happens. I am Paramashiva, continuously chant the Mahavakya and live in the beautiful space. Please everybody make a video, update the form, and make sure you roll the coconut. Don't forget the homework. Whatever we do, we should do the integrity to what the whole thing is. So please roll the coconut on the silicon or on the ground and update the form and share this with everybody. All your great, I'm not able to listen to everybody once, so please make a video or write it and post it, and thanks Swamiji for the greatest gift that he's giving us. So we'll sit straight, end with a Purna Mantra, and come back tomorrow for the class. Okay, thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Bhagwaan Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Ma.
Thank you everybody. Thank you so much.
Ma.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm Anuradha. Hello, Ma.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
I'm Anuradha Seturaman. I joined a bit late. Um, but the thing is, I have actually initiated into all these powers, but I'm not at all manifesting. Like I had attended Nithyanandoham, Sadashivoham, and Ujjain Shuddhatvaitam. But I'm not manifesting because physically in the head I feel some tightness, but as such during
Ma.
the yes
Ma.
yes
Ma. Yes, please come for everyday session. This is the first day you have come here, even you don't even know what's happening here. So I would recommend you to go through the videos, which we have already done sessions about all these things. And once you are familiar with those sessions we'll just post the whole thing. It is in N Education in YouTube. You can go see the sessions and then join the sessions every day. This session is exactly for that only. So once you are with us, every day we'll be manifesting and you can manifest powers of Sadashiva. For that only we have created. Surely you will manifest all the powers, ma. Please go to the session and come every day for the session.
and
Thank
in
you
fact
so much,
in
ma.
Nithyanandoham, you were the one who told me, yes, you can do this blindfold reading. I mean, you were encouraging me. I mean, when the sessions were going.
Wonderful, ma. So we are back again as partners. Okay, superb. Swamiji is guiding everyone, ma. That's all. He'll make it happen for you.
Yes, ma.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Can you please link the video that you showed at the beginning of the session? Hello, Ma Advait? Are you there? Hello, hello.